looking in a mirror, and like it felt like my reflection was delayed. Welcome back to the local Gayliens, where things get weird and they stay weird. I'm Brandon.
I'm Ashten, and we're a paranormal podcast that talks about cryptids and spooky things and hauntings and gay shit and
everything in between.
Ooh.
Yeah. I know you already listened to our intro music, but round two, bitch.
Ready to start tap dancing?
Yeah, just
Well, how was your week?
It was good. I'm still mourning the loss of my hair. Even though it's falling out, it's different when someone literally takes it from you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not over it. Come for me, okay? Bitch, I don't care what issues you're having. This is my current problem, okay? Is it a first world problem? It is.
Nowadays, haircuts are expensive.
Yeah, I paid $25 to enlist. $30 because I tipped.
Gosh.
Yeah, I still tipped. Because it's the right thing.
It is the right thing.
She got mouths to feed, I think.
She does.
I made up a backstory for her. I'm like, she's got mouths to feed.
She's got her own mouth to feed.
Yeah, you don't know. She's working 2 jobs.
Expensive.
Yeah. But yeah, it's a good week. Okay, it's been a good week. I went to a wedding a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yes, Darian and Jadeja from The Circle season 7 got married, and
that's so cute.
It was a beautiful wedding. Had an absolute blast. Got to see so many people I haven't seen in a while.
Yeah.
Other castmates and stuff like that. So yeah, it was good.
Story.
Randomly ended up in People magazine.
Oh yeah, I saw your post.
I was like, okay, that's fun. That's just random.
Was it just they did like a... Sorry, I have something that... They did like a story on the wedding? Or?
Yeah, and then they like took our pictures from the wedding and like put them in the article. And I was like, okay. And then they called us stars.
You are a star.
Stop, I know. No, I'm just kidding.
You're a star in my eyes.
Thanks. That's all that matters to me. It really is. I just want my friends to think I'm famous, and then I'm like, yeah, I hold all the power.
You're like, yes.
Yeah, no. I literally, it was so funny. I was like, because I used to read People magazine, so like, this isn't the first time I've been in it, not the humble brag, I guess. I didn't even think about it. But, you know, it's just funny because I just like woke up and I was like, oh, I'm just in People magazine.
Yeah.
That's funny.
What a life.
Yeah, so so weird.
Yeah.
It's such a weird feeling. Because, like, I was literally like, I got excited and then I was like, but I didn't do anything. I got so excited, but I was also like,
I just went to a wedding.
Yeah. I took a group photo.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'll take it because it's cool.
Yeah.
But I was just like, what? I got a text message. It was like, you're in People magazine. And I was like...
Wait, who texted you?
Literally one of the other people from the show.
Oh.
Yeah, I think it was Jordan. Was like, heads up. And I was just like, I was like, that's so funny.
I love it.
Yeah. Darren and Jadeja, too, are in the New York Times right now.
For their
wedding. Like, yeah, like getting married, like meeting on the show. I was like, hell
cute.
yeah. It was awesome. It was so good. It was so much fun. So much fun.
I just think it's so cute that someone finally, like... Because, I mean, you know, you don't know who you're actually talking to on the show.
Yeah.
And there's so many people that, like, kind of flirt with each other, you know, to, like, help in the game. But then there's some people that I think genuinely are like, oh, I like this person. And I think it's so cute.
Yeah, Love is
They made
Blind.
a love story out of it. Honestly, that's the real Love is Blind.
Yeah, Love is Blind who?
Yeah.
Okay. First of
They've
all.
had more successful weddings on The Circle than they've had.
I know. Oh, my God. Like, basically.
I'm just kidding. There's a few couples that I love. on
JK,
Love is
we
Blind.
love you, Love is Blind. We're just saying.
Do we, though? Do we?
Yeah.
We love some of the people on Love is Blind.
Oh, the actual show is, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
Toxic.
Yeah, put me on there. Put gay people
Honestly,
on Love is
do
Blind.
a gay version and that will pop the fuck off.
I'ma just say it. We need more gay dating shows.
Well, like The Ultimatum.
I
They've done like multiple seasons of that, but then they did one lesbian one and it
so
fucking
good.
popped off.
It was so good too. I've watched it like 4 times. And not just because they're lesbians.
I have to tell you a story after this, but I don't want to say it on here.
No, you're good.
Of someone that I met.
Okay. Wait, you already did.
Oh yeah.
You already did. I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't call them out, but you a bitch. We won't call you out, but you a bitch.
Yeah.
She ain't watching
anyway,
this,
I mean,
she ain't watching
no,
this. She's too
not,
self-involved. But
she's
yeah.
not.
But I do think that episode was really good, and not just because they were gay, but because it was genuinely so entertaining.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, lesbians are very, like, just literally, if you want to be entertained, go to a lesbian bar on a Saturday night.
That's the thing. It's like, people are like, oh, I don't want to see, like, gay people, like, making out and shit. People aren't watching gay shows
but
for
also,
that.
everyone loves watching women make out.
I know.
I don't care what your sexuality is,
Yeah.
what your gender is. Everyone loves to watch women make out.
I mean, I'm just talking about, like, gay people being in shows in general. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, we understand you're not watching to make out, like, to watch people make out, but the thing is, every gay, like, show has been entertaining.
But I do have to say, though, that the lesbian ultimatum was, like, very hypersexualized. I feel like women with women on camera, it's not them actually being like, oh, we accept gay people and you have stories too. It's like, oh, we're sexualizing this.
Yes,
like,
I get that. I feel that.
Yeah.
I feel that 1,000%.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking, like, you look at the track record, right? You've got RuPaul's Drag Race, one of the most watched shows in the U.S. Like, seriously, Ru wins an Emmy, like, every year. He wins, like, 2 or 3 Emmys. And then you've got, what's the show with Jonathan Van Ness? Obsessed with him, by the way. Where they go and they, like, make over someone. Queer Eye.
Oh, yeah.
You got Queer Eye, which is amazing.
Yeah.
And a very watched show. There's just been so many. Like, and I'm just like, why are we refusing to do more of them? Put gay people in shit.
Put them in, coach.
I'm not just saying that because I'm gay and I want to be on it, too.
Yeah, we need more gay dating shows.
We do. I think it'd be fun. Bring back, like, Tila Tequila. That was an amazing moment in history. Although now she's a terrible human being now, but yeah, back in the day, which was
that
crazy.
Shit was gold.
So gold.
Gold.
So gold.
But like all those shows were
gold. Rock of Love.
Yeah.
Flavor of Love.
Oh my god. I low-key kind of want to go home and rewatch
so good. So good. Was it like, oh my god, this is like hard-hitting television? No.
We had just like genuinely like good trash TV.
The best.
Like you were going to like disassociate and not like watch people get murdered or like be obsessed with serial kill. It was just like genuine trash TV.
Well, because it was like reality TV when it was like actual reality. They were letting you beat the shit out of each other. They were letting you smoke cigarettes, drink.
It wasn't like staged.
No, it was.
I mean, some of it.
Some of it was still staged.
Yeah,
but it was very much like, we're gonna loosen up the reins on you a little bit. Mm-hmm. Now it's just everybody. You hit me, I'm gonna sue you.
Or like Bad Girls Club.
Yeah. Oh god. Old Bad Girls Club, not this new shit.
Yeah.
This new thing with Natalie Nunn and baddies. I'm like, shut the fuck up. It's okay to be iconic and trashy, which they are. Period.
Yeah.
Jersey Shore, I do like where it went though. I do like that they maintained family because
I do love that show.
Right, but
I love that they've kept it going.
Yeah.
And it's just like actually really really cool too, because like don't get me wrong, like, when they were younger and, like, blacking out every night, like,
I was dying laughing.
we were there with you.
Loved you.
But, like, now we've, like, grown up with them.
But they
show, like, how they've changed, and
yes.
it's just so relatable.
And even back then, though, they referred to each other as family. Like, season 1, they were like, we are a family. Bad Girls, they just started pulling that shit now because they're trying to build an empire off of it.
Yeah.
Not because they were ever family. Those bitches hated each other. Natalie Nunn's first season, that girl got her ass whooped so many times, and she whooped so many asses.
It was just one of those shows, like, it wasn't meant to watch people evolve.
No, it really was not. And they're trying to do that. And that's why I fell out of love with it.
Yeah.
Was because I'm like,
you're not watching Bad Girls Club because you want to see them, like, grow together.
And I love the show.
You're watching it for one reason and one reason only, and you want to see them be trashy and fight. And, like, that's just what
I loved the show. This is not to discredit the show because I loved it. I was obsessed with it. I just don't like where it is now.
Yeah.
Because now it's like everyone.
I can't even speak on words now because I literally haven't had interest in watching it.
It's just everyone trying to be a bad girl instead of people who are actually just a mess. You know what I mean? And now it's like, I want to be a bad girl. Like, and you're just like, God, calm down.
It's like they like weirdly like. What's the word? What's the word I'm looking for?
I don't know.
Like when you
try too hard.
Well, when you, like, make something, like, better than what it is, when you're, oh my gosh.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. I just don't know the word either.
Like, when you're trying to...
Like, inflate, like, you're...
Just, like...
Glorify.
Yeah. They're trying to, like, glorify the bad girl, and it's like, no, the point of Bad Girls is like you can't glorify. They're just raw. They're real.
Yes,
that's who they are.
Dude, the whole premise of the show was they were sending you there to get drunk and beat each other's asses.
Yeah.
That was literally the premise of the show.
Yeah.
And now it's like, now it's very much that. But, like, no, we are trying to have a rap career and shit. Like, it's very much that now. And I'm like, oh, God.
I feel like that's how a lot of shows are now, though. It's just like, oh, we're on here so we can build a following.
Exactly. Yeah.
We can only follow so many people, guys.
Yes. I want Bad Girls back to the way it was. I want you all just going out, drinking, on vacation in Miami.
Get trashy again.
Yeah, just let it happen, okay? If it's still in you, release it, okay? Just own it. Yeah.
But now that we've gone through some pop culture,
you're welcome.
Gossip.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
We're gonna hop into the story.
Yes.
That has nothing to do with any of that.
Well, we'll see.
Okay, well. We're going to talk about doppelgangers today.
Oh, God. See, I knew this was going to eventually be the thing. I was avoiding this so hard because I have so many stories about this, but I do, but I was like, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, well, now you're forced to.
I'm not, well,
okay, do you want to tell your stories before or after I tell my story?
I want you to talk.
Okay. Well, my first opening line was, Brandon, have you ever experienced a doppelganger of someone?
I feel like I have, but like
of someone else or like you yourself?
Both.
Oh,
yeah. I feel like I have. Excuse me. I'm very weirded out by the woods, first of all. Okay? And the woods is a scary place to me. And I feel like I've seen shit in the woods before that, like, I was like, wait, I feel like I just saw someone I know, but there's no way they're here. That kind of thing. Not so much like, them, like, on the street and stuff like that. It was just, like, in a random place.
Oh,
and I was, and I was just like, wait a minute. And then I have had an experience where I was, like, looking in a mirror and, like, it felt like my reflection was delayed. Do Do you know what I mean?
I saw a video like that on Instagram.
Well, you can. It's very easy to fake it. I know how to, like, editing wise, I know how to, like, do that. So
maybe it wasn't real.
Yeah, it could have been not real. But I very much have, like, I feel like I've experienced that, where I felt like my reflection was delayed. Not in a drastic way where I, like, turn and then it turns.
Well, because, like, the video I saw, it was, like, this girl that was just, like, recording a video to post. But then, I guess when she went back to, like, edit the video, she noticed that her expression in the mirror was completely different than her, like, expression she was giving herself.
See, that might not be faked. That might not have been faked then.
Yeah. I don't know, but it was creepy because she, like, posted the unedited video.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, I'm just saying what I experienced. So that would be my idea of a doppelganger. I know isn't it like someone taking on, like, or like a creature basically mimicking another human?
I mean, there's like a lot of...
I'll let you tell your story.
A lot of...
Yeah, I don't know too much about
assumptions of doppelganger.
Yeah.
But doppelgangers have been around for centuries. Some believe them to be like supernatural beings, omens of disaster, or simply just a strange biological quirk.
No, you're right. Quirk.
Like,
quirk.
It sounded weird when I said it.
Yeah, quirk.
So what exactly is a doppelganger?
Scary.
They are the double of another living person, but are entirely unrelated to them. In some versions, legends think they are paranormal, while others think they are an evil archetype. So the word doppelganger is of German origin and literally translates as double goer. One of the first cases where a doppelganger was documented was in Jean Paul's 1796 novel, I'm going to butcher this, Siebenkus, which referred to the protagonist's alter ego.
Ew.
So he, like, wrote a story about, like, a protagonist, but he kind of had, like, two parts to him.
Yeah.
So I guess in a way kind of like a bipolar type of personality.
Yeah.
Or maybe not even bipolar, like multiple
I think that's where
personalities.
maybe doppelganger came from. Was like someone who they were like referring to someone who had like felt like they had two different personalities.
Well, that's the thing though, is like a doppelganger is like, I mean, in his story it was his alter ego, but I mean, we don't know. I'd never read it, so the alter ego could have been like an entity itself.
Yeah.
But like a doppelganger isn't just like, oh, this other person's personality. It's
no,
like
it's
a
like
physical
form
being, of the person.
Yeah.
So, although the world may have adapted to the idea of doppelgangers recently, they can be tracked or traced back as far as ancient Egypt.
Ooh.
They had something called the Ka. It was a double of a living person sharing not only the identical appearance, but also the same memories. Legend has it that a Ka altered the course of the Trojan War. Helen's double appeared to Paris, causing him to change his battle plans. So yeah, that's a little fun theory
wild.
that doppelgangers influenced the Trojan War.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Ew, and creepy.
Yeah.
Ew.
There are similar concepts encountered in Scandinavian mythology and Cornish and Norman folklore. While I'm gonna start getting tongue-tied saying this word. While doppelgangers are familiar figures in fiction, there have been several well-documented accounts of people happening upon their own doubles in real life.
See, that would fuck me up.
Yeah. So Queen Elizabeth I claimed to have witnessed her own doppelganger lying motionless beside her in her bed. Her lethargic double was described as pallid, shivered, and wan. Queen Elizabeth was known to be calm, sensible, and didn't have much faith in spirits or superstition, but she still knew that this folklore was considered to be a bad sign, and she died shortly after in 1603.
Ew.
Yeah. So I think that's also where people think that doppelgangers are kind of like a bad omen.
Oh no, I don't want that.
There's a well-documented story of Abraham Lincoln seeing a doppelganger, kind of like your experience, or apparition of himself before his second term in office. He reportedly saw a pale, sickly version of himself reflected in the mirror, which his wife, Mary Todd Lincoln, who was like very superstitious and very spiritual, she interpreted it as a sign of his death during his second term. Yeah.
Mary Todd be out here.
And he did die, so.
Ew, don't say it's like me then. Gross.
Well, not like that, but like how you saw it in the mirror.
Yeah, that's fair.
He also saw it in the mirror.
That's fair.
But then like Queen Elizabeth
And
saw
this
like
was, like,
a
when I was,
physical
like-
being next to herself.
I think it happened to me when I was in like high school.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, in 1999, a man tried to steal a woman's purse outside of a Walmart in Roland Park, Kansas. The woman fought back and held onto the purse, but the man made off with her cell phone. Because the woman fell and scraped her knees, the phone theft was classified as an aggravated robbery.
Yeah.
Eyewitnesses identified the criminal as a light-skinned Hispanic or African-American man named Rick, who had long, pulled-back hair. A witness wrote down the license plate number of the car involved in the robbery. Investigators tracked down the driver of the car, who led them to the house where Rick lived. Then the driver went to the precinct where he looked through booking photos of people with the name Richard and Rick that matched the description the victim and a security guard had given. The driver ID'd Jones as Rick. So did the victim during a preliminary hearing and later at trial. But at the time of the robbery, Jones was at his girlfriend's birthday party where several guests testified they saw him, and he had spent the next day watching movies with his girlfriend and cleaning up after the party. His alibi didn't sway the jury, and Jones, who had a criminal record, was convicted on the aggravated robbery charge and sentenced to 19 years in prison.
19 years?
I know, for like a woman
purse?
falling and stealing her cell phone.
19
I mean, yeah, we
years?
shouldn't be like robbing people, but that's like
19
intense.
years though?
Yeah.
Like 5.
Jones appealed and lost. Then he learned about the Midwest Innocence Project, which partners with the University of Kansas Project for Innocence. The team from the Innocence Project eventually tracked down who they believed is the real Rick. He is Ricky Lee Amos, who looks strikingly similar to Jones and who had lived at the address linked to the crime. This information was presented to the eyewitnesses who, when shown the mug shots of the two men, could no longer definitely say that Jones was the robber. After that, a judge tossed out Jones' conviction and freed him from prison on June 8, 2017. The statute of limitations on the crime had passed, so if there was a case against Amos, he could not be prosecuted. So this man spent, I think, 17 years in prison for a crime that he did not commit because his fucking doppelganger committed it, and I'm gonna show you pictures right now.
That is wild.
So the one on the left is Richard Jones. He was the one that got convicted. Ricky Amos on the right was the one who
Got away with
did it. And then if you swipe, it has this is like their profile. If you swipe, it shows their face.
Oh my god.
Is that not insane?
Like almost identical.
Yeah.
The one on the right though looks like he is ill.
I mean, maybe. I don't know.
Doesn't he? Oh, he's just older. He's got gray in his hair, that's why. I was like, why does he look like he's ill?
Yeah.
That's wild how similar they look.
Yeah. So he basically spent 17 years behind bars for a crime that he did not commit. He was only freed when a man named Ricky Amos was arrested. And not only did both men share a forename, but they were virtually identical. And I'll post these pictures on Instagram.
Ugh.
But yeah, like also like not only like they look exactly like, but they both are named Rick, Richard, Ricky. Crazy.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Ugh.
And then now in modern society, people have been turning to social media to find their doppelgangers, which they have termed as twin strangers. So I don't know if you've seen any like reels going around.
When people like post and they're like,
yeah,
if you look like me.
But like there's actually been people that have like found people that like they look like they could be
I don't want
twins.
that. I don't want that.
And then I was like looking up there's some like scientific studies that have been done where basically they've taken like people like that where they look identical, and some of them actually do share some of like the same DNA, like they might be like ancestors in a way, or like they've found that like some of these people that like look very similar also like live very like similar lives.
Ew, I don't like it.
But they just don't even know each other exists.
I don't like it.
It's so crazy.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
That's weird to me.
Yeah.
I don't want to find it either. If you look like me, don't fucking tell me. I don't want to know.
Yeah. So we have some cases where like people haven't died when they come across their doppelganger. Some cases where people have died after they come across their doppelganger.
Ew, what if the doppelganger is like killing them? To be like, there can only be one.
I don't know. That's kind of like, I don't know if you've seen Vampire Diaries.
No.
But like on that, Elena and Stefan, who are like the two main characters, they're doppelgangers that just basically get like, I don't want to say reincarnated every few centuries, but like it gets passed down the line. So like before Stefan turned into a vampire, he was in love with Catherine. And then he becomes a vampire, obviously lives for hundreds of years, and then down the line meets Elena, who's human, but she looks identical to Catherine. And they find out that, like, Catherine and Elena are doppelgangers. And then they're, like, constantly always, like, going at it with each other. Kind of like how you were saying, like, there can only be one.
There can only be one.
Yeah. So they're, like, always at odds with each other.
Ew!
So there's, like, yeah, those kind of, like, stories.
I will cut you.
But I have been told, literally on multiple occasions, that, like, people have seen me out and about, and like one time I was like at work and someone was like, why didn't you, I waved to you at the concert over the weekend, why didn't you wait? And I was like, what are you talking about? I wasn't at a concert. Like, to the point where, and I know like some people they're like, oh, another blonde person.
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
So I get some people being like, oh, like this person looks like you.
No,
because they're just like white girl blonde hair.
This was like, I saw you.
But like they were so convinced it was me that they were like calling my name and trying to like wave, and like the person obviously didn't acknowledge them because they're not Ashten.
Yeah. Ew.
And like I've been told that by like a few people. So like I think I either have a doppelganger running around Columbus, or like
if I see
maybe
her,
a couple doppelgangers. I don't know.
I'll destroy her.
But how will you know if it's me or the doppelganger?
Oh, I'll know. I'll be like, holy water!
So yeah. So I found a fun little doppelganger story on Reddit.
Okay, I'm ready.
So it's titled "The Scariest Thing That Ever Happened to Me, the Doppelganger Story." This happened to me about 2 years ago, around late December of 2020. I was 19 around the time. Me and my girlfriend were at my grandparents' place having a couple drinks out in the garage until it got too cold to stay out there. It was one of the coldest nights of the year, and there was a bad blizzard that night. We live in Canada, by the way. We both went back to the house around 2 a.m. She went into my room, and I went out in the kitchen to cook something for us in the oven. I was on my phone standing alone out in the kitchen when my grandma and my girlfriend both walked out into the kitchen together. It was a bit strange because my grandma is never up that late, and it was even stranger that my girlfriend came out at the same time. The first thing my grandma said to me is, "Don't go back out there tonight. On a night like this, people lose their lives." I was a little bit freaked out because I was just about to head back out to the garage to grab something. I never told anyone I was going back out. My girlfriend and my grandma just stood there staring at me with the weirdest expressions I've ever seen, with very unnatural smiles that did not seem right. My girlfriend then walked over and gave me a hug. When I grabbed her, she was ice cold. I commented about this, and when I mentioned how cold she was, her expression changed. Her smile faded, and she looked up at me with really serious, sad eyes and didn't say anything. There was something else I noticed too. She smelled like a campfire, an earthy, smoky smell. There wasn't an explanation for this, and she didn't smell like that earlier. I swear at that moment I got chills all over. There was something so off about it all, but I couldn't put my finger on it. My girlfriend whispered in my ear, "Don't go outside tonight." They really don't want him going outside.
I would pass out. I would be like, nope. Nope. I'd be like, what the fuck? See, I'm too like eerie. I'd literally like push you away. And I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, I'd be like calling you out. Like, why are you acting like an idiot?
Yeah. She walked back over to my grandma. She stood beside her with her head down in a serious expression while my grandma was still staring at me with that weird fake smile. That would be the creepiest part.
No. Grandma getting hit.
It was so bizarre, I just stood there speechless. The wind began to literally fucking howl outside. My grandma turned and looked at my girlfriend. "Don't mess with black magic," she said. "Nothing good is gonna come from it." My girlfriend didn't say anything. She continued looking down. I stood there confused. My girlfriend looked up at me. "We have to go now," she said. They both started walking away. My grandma looked back at me for a second. "See you on the flip side," she said with a weird smile. I got another chill through my body when she said that. I'm getting chills right now. They turned the corner and left the kitchen.
Ew!
I stood there for a while. I didn't know what to make of it all. I decided not to go out to the garage. I'd go out and get my stuff the next morning. I stayed out in the kitchen for another 10 minutes until the food was done. I went back into the room with it. My girlfriend was in bed laying down. She got up and put on a movie. I guess I was quiet because she asked, "What's wrong?" I told her everything was okay. It took me 10 minutes to say something about it because, to be honest, I was still frightened by it. I turned to her and asked why her and my grandma came out to the kitchen. The second I said that, my nose started bleeding. I ran to the bathroom and got something to stop the bleeding. When I went back in the room, I told my girlfriend everything. As you can guess, she said she never went out to the kitchen, and she swore on someone's life that she was in the room the whole time.
Ugh.
She also didn't smell like smoke anymore. We went and woke up my grandma right after, and my grandma said the same thing. She actually thought we were trying to mess with her, and she didn't believe me. We were so freaked out after this, we had trouble sleeping for the rest of the night. The part that really messed my girlfriend up was when I told her about how cold she felt and how she smelled like smoke. The only explanation we could come up with was that maybe if I went outside that night, something bad would have happened to me. Maybe the spirits of dead relatives watching over me came to me in that form so I wouldn't be scared and they could get the message through. The last part of it that made sense was the part about the black magic. My girlfriend just got a book about witchcraft from her friend the week prior. My girlfriend never opened the book again after this. She took what she said as a warning. I've been thinking about writing this story down for the past 2 years, and my girlfriend encouraged me to finally do it because maybe someone else out there had an experience like this. To this day, I still get chills thinking about it, especially the last thing she said. "See you on the flip side."
I would be having a mental breakdown.
But also, like, can you imagine, like, how creepy everything they're saying is? And then the grandma's like, "See you on the flip side."
See you on the flip side. I'd be
She's like, wait, I need to, like, try to sound a little normal.
Yeah, I'd be like, okay. Like, after all that, though, I would have never made it to the hug. I would have never made it. If I turn and 2 people walk out, I don't care if they're family or not, and they got weird looks on their faces.
Yeah, like weird, creepy smiles.
Yeah, and then they're talking to me weird. No, something is that I don't do fishy. I don't do like, this seems
It almost
fishy.
like kind of also, I feel like doppelgangers also remind me of mimics.
Yeah, mimics scare the shit out of me.
Yeah.
So, doppelgangers. If you've never seen the movie Single White Female, you need to go watch it. Have you seen it?
No.
Wild.
Is it about doppelgangers?
This lady gets a roommate online, and this girl, like, kind of resembles her a little bit. But then this girl starts doing things to become this girl.
Oh, that's kind of like the movie The Roommate.
Yes. So The Roommate was a play off of Single White Female.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm. So, but I don't know, Single White Female is better. It's a classic.
I mean, the original is always better.
Yeah, but The Roommate was good. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
But Single White Female, that shit is crazy. She, like, gets her hair cut like her and is, like, doing it all in front of her face. Like,
Ugh.
yeah, the other lady's like, oh, you got a haircut. And she's like, yeah, like, I'm really inspired by you and stuff. And then, like, ends up, like, having sex with, like, her boyfriend and shit. Like, but, like, he thought it was her.
I guess, like, could identical twins be considered doppelgangers?
I guess, but, like, they weren't related.
Oh, yeah. Is it, like, a doppelganger is, like, not actually related to you?
Yeah, but I feel like there's also, like, spiritual doppelgangers.
Yeah.
But I wonder if, like, a spiritual doppelganger would be almost like your future self telling you, like, something is going to happen.
I feel like that, or I'm like, maybe doppelgangers and mimics are actually two different things. Mimics are spiritual, doppelgangers are, like, real flesh people.
Yeah, because, like, in that, it almost seemed like the, like, mimics were, or whatever were...
But don't mimics normally have, like, bad intentions? Because it seemed like they were, like, warning him.
I think so, but I think that's why that was maybe just, like... I don't know. Maybe, like, their spirits, their future selves telling him, like,
yeah,
if you go out there, this is going to happen.
Or I've also heard, so, you know, like, residual hauntings, they say, like, aren't actual, like, physical ghosts haunting it. It's more of, like, energy, like, breaks off and is just, like, repeating in that space. What if, like, a spiritual doppelganger is almost, like, a part of your essence that, like, broke off?
Well, and that's the part that's, like, weird because, the reason I'm going down, and it's so weird that we're having this conversation right now, is because I watched Donnie Darko last night. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but basically, Donnie Darko, the guy, he goes to bed one night and he has, like, this vision of this, like, man in a bunny, like, a weird, creepy bunny outfit, and he, like, follows this bunny guy, like, out into the street, right?
Yeah.
And then this airplane engine, like, falls through his roof and, like, lands in his room where he was going to be sleeping. Okay? And then he goes through the next, like, 25 days of his life, like, basically seeing everything that would have happened if he survived. And so then at the end, he, like, chooses to lay in his bed and die. But turns out
kind of like the butterfly effect thing.
Yeah, but like the guy in the bunny outfit was someone he ends up, like, killing, and so he goes and he, like, dies, and so none of that happens.
Oh my god!
So it was like the bunny guy's soul was coming to tell him, like, this is what's gonna happen if you live.
Yeah.
And so he goes back and decides not to live.
That's so crazy. What an interesting movie.
Right. It's so good. You got to watch it. It's so good.
Yeah.
It is very weird and creepy, but, like, it's so good and intense. Like, very intense. But it's weird. It's very sci-fi, but it's a fucking classic. The main character is Jake Gyllenhaal when he was younger.
Oh.
So it's a very good acting. But it's intense, but it's so weird that you're talking about that and then how they just kind of warned him. And then I was thinking back to that.
Well, because then I'm like, okay, if it was, like, such a cold, like, blizzard night, like, literally he could have, like, went out there to grab his stuff, like, slipped and fell and, like, froze to death because no one knew he was out there.
Yep. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So that's weird. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah.
That was good. I don't like the idea of someone being able to, like, look like me and, like, mimic.
I think the creepiest thing would be, like, one of those.
It's kind of like
one of those just, like, horror stories of, like, what if this doppelganger tries to steal my life?
Yeah. Have you watched the movie The Watchers?
Yes.
How they were fairy people?
Oh wait, I'm thinking of The Watcher.
No, you need to watch...
Where they had the stalker that was leaving notes in their mailbox.
No, you need to watch...
Wait, what's The Watchers?
The Watchers. It's Dakota Fanning.
Oh, wait, no, I want to see that. That's why it sounds familiar. It's been, like, popping up.
It's good, but it's going to freak you out. Because in this one, it's fairy people, and they mimic the way you look to become you. And then they go out.
Okay, I believe that. I believe that could actually happen.
When you watch this, you need to watch it
because
tonight.
Obviously we'll have to do like an episode on fairies at some point, which like from stories I've heard and things I've read,
Fairies
they don't even want to be talked about.
No, they're evil.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not nice beings. Fairies.
Yeah.
Like in the movies and stuff, they're all like glittery and pretty.
Yeah, they're like Tinkerbell.
Yeah, but in like lore, they're not.
Actually kind of terrifying.
Menacing and manipulative and will kill you.
Yeah.
Watch
and
the
like
Watchers.
Steal your babies.
Yeah, watch the Watchers. It's gonna blow your mind. You're gonna be like, oh my god, like
okay,
it's gonna mess you up. You're never gonna look at like people again if they're if they're acting weird. You're gonna be like, why are you acting weird? It was wild.
Okay,
I highly suggest it.
Okay.
Very good movie. It's slow burn. So it starts off like it's intense, but like you're like you're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And it's a slow burn, but it is so good.
Yeah.
M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, I think, wrote it.
Okay.
So very twist. It's got a twist.
Yeah. Love it.
But a good twist. Yeah, watch it. Thank you for sharing that, though. Yeah. That was so good. I'm going to be thoroughly creeped out all day.
Yeah. They're creepy.
Well, thank you guys so much for watching. Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe.
And we love hearing your stories, so send them to us at thelocalgayliens@outlook.com.
Please do it. But until then, stay spooky.